I wanted to speak upon manifestation and resistance, and I thought I would use initially Loki season 2 to pretty much break that down for you beautiful people. Now, anytime you want to bring forth anything within your physical experience, anything that you want to bring forth, being money, a partner, stability, finances, whatever it might be, you are going into the mind. You're doing this. Anytime you basically think of a thought, you're going into a particular timeline. You time slip into various thoughts, which are pretty much experiences and realities that you recall every time that you actually go into your mind to bring forth that manifestation into your physical life as an experience. Now, there is no future because you can't have a future thought. So when you create thought, you create time. When you create time, you create thought. So when you think, you're time slipping into basically that particular reality or realities, which is basically all the thoughts and experiences that the mind holds in the mind, which is the image, the feeling, the desire, the emotion, energy in motion, or what I call the elementals in motion: fire, earth, air, and water. Fire radiates and sustains life like a light bulb, radiates heat. The water element being, of course, water nourishes and sustains life. The breath, absence of breath equals death, being the spirit. And of course, earth, which is the matter, mother. It incubates your manifestation into physicality for you to experience it in the now. So when we go back into this particular scene of Loki, you have Loki who's sitting there straight. Around him are all of the timelines, realities, dimensions, multiverses, whatever you want to call it. Within that particular experience, he is the king of stories. Now, you are basically that particular energy. You are the observer, right? Aren't you? Of your particular reality and experience. Any time that you think of a thought, you are initially observing thought, not thought observing you. So when you think of a thought, it's you that's initially observing thought, not thought observing you. So you are not initially your thoughts. Just like Loki is not the timeline, but in his observation, in his ability to put his energy within himself, he can time slip into any moment in time or any reality that he initially wants to, because he's able to use the observer basically in the now without allowing thought to dictate the experience and the energy. Meaning, if you are observing, but you are observing through the mechanics of thought, thought becomes basically in control of you. So you cannot observe, you cannot even be still, because in your stillness is who you are. See, there's a difference between thought and intelligence. Thought is of the past. Intelligence is the stillness. In the stillness is the silence, and in the silence is the intelligence. So when Loki is sitting here, he is stillness. He's the observer of all of his realities, just like you are the observer of all of your thoughts within the mind, which initially either plague you or balance you based upon you not feeding or focusing. So anytime you focus, you are allocating light and energy into that particular experience, and that becomes the resistance that holds you back. So when you think and you feed your thoughts, you create conflict, distance, time, and space between the thing that you are and the thing that you want to bring forth, because there's nothing outside of you. It's all within you. So that's where the resistance comes in. When you feed your thoughts, you bring forth the resistance, the chaos, and that particular reality or timeline becomes a manifestation in your physical life because you feed it consistently. Now, when you want to bring forth the thing that you are, so when you go into your mind and you initially start to, of course, observe the reality or realities that you want to bring forth in your physical experience by visualizing, by writing, by drawing, by visualizing before you go to sleep, because that's when the conscious mind shuts down, and initially, of course, the subconscious mind is accessed. You're able to literally feed that particular energy within the mind, which is the reality that you want to bring forth. And eventually, through repetition, through visualizing, through knowing what you are and what you are not, through realizing the God that you want to become, just like Loki decided who he wanted to become. Once you understand your glorious purpose of what you are in the essence, in the now, you now bring forth a sacred timeline that becomes your physical experience within this particular reality that we call Earth. So to bring forth your manifestation, you want to be still. You want to observe. Anytime the thoughts, the chatter comes into the mind, your thoughts say, you can't have this, you can't do this. That's all of your experiences. That's the mechanics of thought. That's the past telling you what you are. But understand and understand that you are not your thoughts. So when a chatter comes in, just observe the thoughts without feeding your thoughts. If you do this consistently, your thoughts will become calmer and calmer and calmer. And then your thoughts become very still. And then you get put into the observation. And in that observation, you become the observer of every experience, every reality, every multiverse within your mind, every experience and thought. You become the observer. And then you understand what reality you want to bring forth. Money, wealth, health, partners, marriage, stability, whatever you want to call it. That becomes a sacred timeline that initially becomes your physical experience. Now, anytime, so when you see the sacred timeline at the top, it's a straight line. That is when you are in balance, when you are in observation, when you are initially in peace, self-love, you know what you are. Anytime the chatter comes in, the chaos, the resistance comes in, it splits that particular timeline. It splits into different fragments. I can't, I don't have, I need, I want, I'm not good enough, whatever it might be. These are all potential realities that come into your existence. If you actually feed it enough, it becomes your reality in the physical sense. Just like the Ancient One told Doctor Strange, as he was brought to many realities, including the quantum realm and the dark dimension, the Ancient One reminded him that Earth was part of the bigger multiverse and there were an infinite amount of realities or possibilities. Now, what I love about this particular moment is this is Loki saying, no, I know what my purpose is. I know what I have to do. And this initially reminded me of this. When Neo was killed by Agent Smith, he came back up. They shot him again and he was like, no. He knew what he was and he pretty much he broke the matrix. He broke the matrix of experience. See, the matrix is it's the field of experience. You have to be in the matrix to experience what you are. You're a spiritual being having a physical experience. So the matrix is experience. When you strip everything away in your lifetime, there is only experience. There is only experience. So through your manifestations, through the sacred timeline, through initially being the observer of what's happening basically here, which is your thoughts, your timelines, realities, multiverses, whatever you want to call it, you can bring forth that particular timeline, which becomes a sacred timeline that you experience on a daily basis. So I hope that was useful. If you have any questions, hey, feel free to drop any questions down below and I will answer all of your questions fully, up to 10 minutes here on TikTok to give you a full explanation of your questions to the best of my ability. If I don't know, I'm going to honestly say I don't know what your question is based upon I don't know. But that's pretty much my breakdown of the metaphysics of manifestation of Loki. Hope you enjoyed. As always, click, like, share, follow. And if you really enjoyed this video, follow and share this with somebody that actually needs to hear this particular message, because it may help them to actually help themselves to ignite that infinite gauntlet spark within their mind so they can actually benefit their lives in every single capacity. Thank you so much.